Hey there, you're looking kind of cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other socials. Enjoy.
The bright lights made the office look dull. The appliances made a constant humming sound that bounced off the walls. It was very late, and no one was working in the cubicles. A spreadsheet was left on a screen, the numbers looking blurry. Someone kept tapping on the table. This showed they were restless, which was strange for someone working overtime. This had happened before, and it would probably happen again. The sales team did not notice how much work was done in the background. "Are you still here?" asked a voice at the entrance. It was Rebecca from sales. She wore her usual red blazer, which stood out in the dull office. She tapped her nails on her mug. "I'm finishing the Henderson account. I thought you would need it while you were at the convention," the person said, still looking at the screen. "This is the third time this month you've done this. Did you know?" Rebecca's heels made a clicking sound as she walked closer. Her steps matched the tapping on the desk. "I don't know how to say thank you enough. You should let us help you too." "It's nothing really, just doing my job." "The girls and I were talking. We want to do something special for you. Are you free Saturday night?" Finally, eyes lifted from the computer screen. "What did you have in mind?" "It's a surprise. Just come to my place around 7. Casual dress." Rebecca scribbled her address on a sticky note, pressing it down with a perfectly polished nail. "Trust me, you'll have fun." Saturday arrived faster than expected. The apartment building stood in the nicer part of town, all glass and modern angles. The elevator ride to the 15th floor seemed endless, accompanied only by soft jazz and nervous energy. Rebecca answered the door in pink pajama pants and a white tank top, her face free of makeup. "Perfect timing! Come in, come in!" The living room buzzed with feminine energy. 5 women from the sales team lounged on oversized cushions and plush carpets, surrounded by bowls of popcorn and bottles of wine. Fairy lights twinkled from the ceiling, casting everything in a warm glow. "Surprise!" they called out in unison. "Welcome to our slumber party." "A slumber party?" The words came out uncertain. "Our way of saying thanks." Diana, the team lead, raised her wine glass from her spot on the couch. She wore purple silk pajamas that caught the light. "You've saved our butts so many times. This is long overdue." "But I didn't bring pajamas or already taken care of." Rebecca disappeared down the hallway, returning with a bundle of baby blue fabric. "We got you something special." The nightgown unfolded to reveal delicate white lace trim along the neckline and hem. The fabric felt impossibly soft between uncertain fingers. "Go change in the bathroom," Rebecca pointed down the hall. "Second door on the left." The bathroom mirror reflected back confusion and something else. Curiosity? The work clothes came off slowly, folded neat on the counter. The nightgown slipped over pale skin like water, the hem falling just above the knees. The lace tickled against the chest. A knock interrupted the moment of self-examination. "Everything okay in there?" "Yeah, just... this is different." "Different good or different bad?" Rebecca's voice held genuine concern. The mirror showed a figure transformed. The baby blue brought out hidden softness in features that daily life in gray suits had obscured. "Good, I think." "Then come out. We have wine and face masks waiting." The sales team erupted in supportive cheers at the emergence from the bathroom. No judgment, no awkwardness, just acceptance and excitement. "Sit here." Maria patted the cushion beside her, her own green nightgown pooling around her legs. "We're about to start makeovers." "Makeovers? Can't have a proper slumber party without them." Diana produced a professional-looking makeup case. "Rebecca used to work at a salon. She's amazing." "I don't know if..." "Trust the process." Rebecca knelt in front of the cushion, studying facial features with an artist's eye. "Close your eyes. Let me work my magic." The foundation brush felt like whispers against skin. Each stroke seemed to erase something heavy, replacing it with lightness. The women chatted around the transformation, sharing stories from their week. "Remember when Mr. Peterson tried to take credit for the Morrison deal?" Christina laughed from her spot by the window, her yellow pajamas set bright against the dark glass. "August's report saved us from that disaster." Eyes still closed, Rebecca commanded. I'm doing eyeshadow now. The brush swept across eyelids with practiced precision. Soft browns and golds, Rebecca murmured, to complement the complexion. Each addition felt like unveiling rather than covering. Can I look yet? Patience, lips next. The lipstick application required stillness, fighting the urge to lick lips or speak. The color, rose pink, Rebecca announced, completed something that had been building with each cosmetic touch. Okay, open. The hand mirror reflected a stranger. No, not a stranger. Someone who had always existed but never had permission to emerge. The makeup enhanced rather than masked, bringing forward a femininity that suits and ties had buried. How do you feel? Diana's question carried weight beyond casual conversation. I feel... The right word seemed important but elusive. Right, like this is how I'm supposed to look. The room fell quiet for a moment. Then Maria reached over, squeezing a manicured hand. I know that feeling. You do? Maria nodded, tucking a strand of dark hair behind her ear. Took me years to figure out who I really was. My family wanted me to be a doctor, marry the boy next door, have kids by 25. But that wasn't me. What happened? I chose myself. She gestured around the room. Found people who accepted me as I am. Started living my truth instead of their expectations. The conversation opened floodgates. Each woman shared her journey. Diana's struggle with corporate sexism, Christina's battle against cultural expectations, Rebecca's fight to be taken seriously in business. The night deepened with each story, wine glasses refilled, barriers dissolving. Your turn. Christina nudged gently. What's your story? The baby blue nightgown suddenly felt like armor rather than costume. I think I've been hiding, going through motions, being what everyone expected. But this, a gesture encompassed the makeup, the nightgown, the accepting circle. This feels more real than anything has in years. Then don't hide anymore. Rebecca pulled out her phone. Let me take a picture. You need to see how beautiful you look. The camera captured something profound. Not just the outer transformation, but an inner light that had been waiting for permission to shine. The woman in the photo radiated joy and authenticity. I want to keep feeling like this. The admission came out barely above a whisper. Then do it. Diana's voice held the same authority she used in board meetings. Life's too short to be anyone but yourself. But work, and people will talk, and people always talk. Christina waved dismissively. They talked when I divorced my ex. They talked when Rebecca started her own consulting firm. They'll talk no matter what you do. She's right. Maria refilled wine glasses around the circle. The question is, do you want to live for their opinions or for your happiness? The night stretched on, filled with more makeovers, terrible romantic comedies, and deep conversations. Each woman contributed something to a growing pile beside the baby blue nightgown, a skirt here, a blouse there, accessories and shoes in surprisingly fitting sizes. We cleaned out our closets, Rebecca explained, adding a coral cardigan to the collection. Figured you might need some options while you figure things out. I can't accept all this. You can and you will. Diana's tone brooked no argument. Consider it an investment in the real you. Dawn crept through the windows, finding the group still talking, though voices had grown soft with exhaustion. The makeover had evolved throughout the night, hair styled in different ways, nail polish added in soft pink, techniques shared and practiced. I should go. The statement lacked conviction. Wait. Rebecca disappeared into her bedroom, returning with a tote bag. For the clothes. And this. She pressed a business card into freshly manicured hands. My stylist. She's discreet and amazing. Tell her I sent you. The goodbyes took forever, each woman insisting on a hug, promises to text, plans for lunch. The elevator ride down felt like crossing between worlds, the accepting warmth above, the uncertain reality below. The apartment that had seemed adequate yesterday now felt like a cage. The closet full of gray suits and dark ties mocked from their hangers. The bathroom mirror still showed traces of the night, smudged mascara, faded lipstick, but more importantly, the memory of feeling whole. The tote bag sat on the bed like a question mark. Each piece of clothing represented a choice, a step towards something both terrifying and necessary. The coral cardigan felt soft between trembling fingers. Monday would come too soon. The office, the expectations, the carefully constructed professional image, all waiting to reclaim their prisoner. But something had shifted in that circle of acceptance. A door had opened that couldn't be closed. The phone buzzed. A group text from the sales team, already active despite the early hour. Rebecca, remember, you're beautiful exactly as you are. Diana, team meeting at 2 p.m. tomorrow, just saying. Christina, we've got your back no matter what. Maria, living authentically is the bravest thing you can do. The baby blue nightgown hung from the closet door, a reminder of possibilities. Tomorrow would bring challenges, certainly. Questions, looks, adjustments, but also freedom, also truth. The business card for Rebecca's stylist sat on the nightstand. One call, one appointment, one step toward becoming who had always existed beneath the surface. The decision crystallized with sunrise painting the bedroom walls gold. No more hiding, no more pretending. The woman in the mirror last night, she deserved to exist in daylight too. Sunday passed in a blur of preparation. The stylist, true to Rebecca's word, proved both professional and understanding. Rebecca called ahead. She studied hair and features with expert eyes. Said, "You're ready for a change. Let's make you shine." The salon chair became a chrysalis. Hair was trimmed and shaped into a flattering style that framed the face perfectly. The stylist selected a blonde color that looked natural, explaining how to maintain it. Lessons in makeup application followed, how to recreate Rebecca's work, what products to use, techniques for different occasions. "You're a natural." The stylist stepped back to admire her work. "This isn't changing you, it's revealing you." The shopping trip afterward felt surreal. Each store visit added to the new wardrobe, professional pieces that maintained femininity while meeting office standards, a navy pencil skirt, white silk blouses, a gray blazer with subtle feminine tailoring. The salespeople, if they noticed anything unusual, kept it to themselves, focused only on finding the perfect fit. Sunday evening arrived too quickly. The apartment transformed into a staging ground. New clothes hung carefully in the closet, makeup arranged on the dresser, everything ready for tomorrow's revelation. The mirror reflected someone unrecognizable from Friday's office worker. Blonde hair styled soft around the face, features relaxed into their natural state, wearing the baby blue nightgown like a promise. Sleep came fitfully, dreams mixing anxiety with anticipation. The alarm seemed to sound immediately, Monday morning arriving with all its weight, but the face in the bathroom mirror smiled back with determination. The morning routine took longer than usual. Each step, shower, hair, makeup, clothes, performed with careful attention. The navy skirt paired perfectly with a cream blouse, the coral cardigan adding a pop of color. Low heels clicked against the floor with newfound confidence. The drive to work felt both endless and too brief. The parking garage echoed with those clicking heels, each step a declaration. The elevator filled with familiar faces who did double takes, confusion flickering across features before returning to their phones. The sales team waited by the cubicles, forming a protective semicircle. Diana stepped forward first, her smile warm and genuine. "Good morning? Ready for the team meeting?" "As ready as I'll ever be." "You look amazing." Christina squeezed a shoulder in support. Absolutely glowing. The morning passed in a haze of reactions. Some coworkers stared openly, others studiously avoided eye contact. A few offered tentative smiles or compliments. The work continued as always, spreadsheets and phone calls and emails, but everything felt different viewed through this new lens. 2 o'clock approached like a gathering storm. The conference room filled with the usual suspects, conversations dying as heels clicked across the threshold. The chair at the table had never felt more like a throne or an electric chair. Diana called the meeting to order, running through quarterly reports and upcoming deadlines. Then she paused, making significant eye contact. "Before we continue, I believe someone has an announcement?" The room fell silent. Hearts beat loud enough to echo off the walls. Standing required effort, knees threatening to buckle. But the sales team smiled encouragingly, their support a tangible force. I want to thank everyone for their patience during my transition. I know this might come as a surprise, but I need to live authentically. Deep breath. Moving forward, I'd appreciate if you'd call me Kaylani. The silence stretched eternal. Then Rebecca started clapping. Diana joined, then Christina and Maria. The applause spread through the room, not unanimous, but enough, more than expected. Thank you for trusting us with this. Diana's professional voice carried personal warmth. HR has been notified, and they'll send out an email about name changes in the system. Now let's discuss the Morrison account. The meeting continued with surprising normalcy. A few colleagues stumbled over pronouns, catching themselves with apologies. Others adapted immediately. The work remained the same, numbers and strategies and deadlines, but the person discussing them had finally emerged. After the meeting, a stream of coworkers approached privately. Some offered support, others shared their own stories of transformation or acceptance. A few maintained cool distance, but nobody displayed open hostility. How do you feel? Rebecca caught up in the hallway, her red blazer as sharp as ever. Terrified, relieved, free. Kaylani smoothed down the navy skirt, still adjusting to its fit. Like I can finally breathe. It gets easier. Rebecca's smile held understanding. The first day is the hardest. You've already survived that. The weeks that followed proved Rebecca right. Each day brought small victories. The security guard learning the new name, clients adjusting without comment, presentations delivered with growing confidence. The wardrobe expanded, makeup application became routine, the clicking of heels through the office as natural as breathing. Some challenges arose, the occasional mispronounce, the confused looks from new clients, the bathroom decision that required careful navigation, but the sales team formed a protective barrier, correcting mistakes gently, including Kaylani in their girls' nights and lunch outings. 3 months later, another late night at the office found Kaylani at the computer, blonde hair pulled back in a professional ponytail, wearing a burgundy dress that had become a favorite. The spreadsheet numbers still blurred together, but everything else had sharpened into focus. Still here? Diana appeared at the cubicle entrance, eerily echoing that first night. Just finishing up the quarterly reports. You know, you don't have to cover for us anymore. You're not trying to prove anything. Kaylani looked up, lipstick still perfect despite the long day. I'm not proving anything. I just like helping my team. Your team? Diana smiled. I like the sound of that. Hey, we're doing another slumber party this weekend. You in? Wouldn't miss it. The computer screen reflected a face at peace, makeup slightly faded from the day, but confidence unwavering. The transformation that began with a baby blue nightgown had evolved into something deeper than clothes or cosmetics. It had become truth, lived daily in fluorescent lighting and boardrooms, in casual conversations and formal presentations. The phone buzzed with the group chat, plans already forming for the weekend. Messages flew about movies and wine selections, nail polish colors, and face mask preferences. Kaylani typed a response with manicured nails, suggesting a romantic comedy that had caught her eye. The office slowly emptied, leaving behind the familiar hum of electronics and air conditioning. But the isolation that once accompanied these late nights had vanished. Even alone in the cubicle, connection thrived, to the women who had opened their circle, to the authentic self finally allowed to exist, to a future unlimited by others' expectations. Standing to leave required careful attention to the pencil skirt's fit, a motion now automatic. The reflection in the dark window showed a professional woman gathering her purse, checking lipstick one final time, preparing to face the world. Not the man who had sat in this chair 6 months ago, but who had always existed beneath the surface, waiting for permission to emerge. The elevator ride down felt like freedom rather than transition. The parking garage echoed with confident heel clicks, each step a celebration of becoming. The car waited in its usual spot, but the person sliding behind the wheel had transformed completely. The drive home passed through city lights that seemed brighter, full of possibility rather than obligation. The apartment, redecorated with touches of color and warmth, welcomed rather than confined. The closet, full of carefully chosen pieces, represented options rather than costumes. Before bed, one last check of the group chat. Photos from last weekend's brunch filled the screen. 6 women laughing over mimosas, Kaylani indistinguishable from any other member of the friend group. The baby blue nightgown, carefully preserved in a drawer, served as a reminder of where the journey began. But the woman preparing for bed, removing makeup with practiced motions, existed fully in the present. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, certainly. Client meetings, presentations, the ongoing navigation of a world still learning acceptance. But it would also bring authenticity, friendship, and the deep satisfaction of living as oneself. The blonde hair spread across the pillow as sleep approached. Dreams no longer featured conflict between competing selves, but rather adventures of a woman secure in her identity. Kaylani had emerged from that first slumber party, not as a costume or experiment, but as truth finally acknowledged.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.